shares. The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Hi everyone, Basil Chapman, Tiger Technicians on this Wednesday, the 26th of October, and this is so fascinating. The Dow has been the leader since we made that low on Thursday, the 13th, 28,660. We're now at 31,938. Wow. I mean, over 3,000 points higher. So within that context, this is a leg C. This is a beautiful takeoff pattern in the daily. The weekly chart has still got a lot of work to do. You know how I talk about the tide? And when the tide is, the reason why you can get channels or Chapman wave inside track repellent zones or propellant zones is that there's a certain percentage of enthusiasm or pessimism that is accumulated. And as it's coming down, every single pop-up stalls at a certain point. And that's what creates, this is the only way I can figure it out, because I don't think you can do it. Yeah, you can talk about it through algorithms, percentages, but I'm talking about an emotional plus a potential algorithm. Look at each one of these weekly spikes to the upside. 32,272 back in March. Pops up and goes to about 35,500. Fails, goes down to the Chapman wave inside track propellant zone. 30,635. Pops up, fails, comes back down. Has an even bigger move. Well, where does it go to? It stalls at the Chapman wave inside track repellent zone. Pulls back, and what does it do? It slides down to 28,660 on the 13th of October, and then has a sharp rally. Well, that rally says the 33,000s, maybe 33,100, because the declining line will become the repellent zone. We don't know, but look at the candle, and it's so interesting that we actually did just momentarily take out that Thursday spike to the downside. We did take out the low, and therefore I would have loved to have said April was the low in the cash. September was the low in the cash. October was the low in the futures. And then the cash would have said, wow, isn't this a fantastic candle in the monthly? Look, it's not quite an engulfing. It will be an engulfing now that we've gone below it. And if we go above the high that was made at around about 34,000, let's get the exact figure. The 34,281 level by $1, you've engulfed that candle. But there are other things going on. And what's really going on, let's just do this in a very systematic way. I want to go to a lot of stocks. I want to get this done very quickly. We'll use the Dow as the benchmark here. So the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence in the daily, is very strong. The histogram hasn't started to pull back yet. That means the distance between the green, faster 9-period differential moving average and the slow 26-period exponential moving average. The stochastic is not yet flattening out at 95%. That's a fantastic sign. Finally, the blue unbalanced volume is running sharply. Still way down. In fact, I use this as a benchmark to say when you get to the overbought level, that's where we've got to be careful. There's a long way to go. But in the meantime, the 9-period is way over the 14-period, and this is a leg C in the Chapman wave methodology. You identify the lowest low bar. You expect that if it goes to maybe a B, it could be earlier than that, but if it goes to a B and then pulls back modestly, if it takes out that B, going to a C is probably upgraded from a buy signal almost immediately to a buy mode. That's exactly where we are. We're in a buy mode in the Dow daily, and that suggests that it should go to at least, that's the methodology, 4 higher peaks to peak D. Peak A is the first, peak B is the second, peak C. Now, wait a minute. Look at this. Look at the divergence. And one of the things I've said to subscribers is there is so much in the way of selectivity here that at any point you could be in the right sector for a day and then next day it's gone. You want something that's consistent. And what we're looking at right now is that the S&P did go to a leg C. It has to go above that. Here's the Chapman wave. It went above the Chapman wave, inside wedge. The Dow stalled a little bit at that. Now it's gone above it as well. And we're looking at all the technicals in the S&P looking good, except the unbalanced volumes lagging a little bit. But these are good. And it would say that if today, I don't know if it could be today, but if today the S&P goes over 3862.85 by 1 penny, that extends leg C. If it's tomorrow or the next day, that goes to leg D. You're already at leg D. QQQ, NDX 100, peak C as well. It's going to struggle to get above that today, but it is acting kind of okay, not great, but it's finally the 9-period moving average has turned positive above the slow moving average. That is a good sign. And that weekly chart with the arch formation making the second cup formation, it's going to need a lot to get above the inside track weekly repellent zone and get to 300 and, I'd say 303. It needs to do to break out of that pattern. And the monthly chart is looking terrible. IWM, as I said in the update, is up nicely. It's up $1.57 at 179.80. Yes, it was stalling, but now it's broken decisively with yesterday's close above the arch high. That's always a good sign because it says the lowercase h in the Chapman wave methodology can turn into a very strong cup formation, and that's what it's done. Not only that, remember we did that left side, and I'll do it again, the left side, right side price time match to the high of August the 16th at 201.99 from the low that was made back in June at 162. And what did we do? On the exact day of this matching time sequence, we went to a fractional lower low, 162.50, and look where we are right now. So you can see arch formation, cup formation, arch formation, straight line, cup. They just vary all the time. That's all you're looking at in the market is a series of cups, arches, or straight lines. Let's get out of this, and we're going to go to, I'll keep this open because I want to go to the GDX. The GDX is having a very nice pop-up today. It's up 55 cents at 24.95. You can see there's like a bowl formation. You can call it an inverted head and shoulders. Yep, that can work. It means that the neckline is at about 26.20. A long way to go. This is a start. This is not a big breakout yet in gold. I would say a big breakout in the GDX, the gold miners market vectors ETF, would be right up there in the 2640s. Just take that out. But of course, we're already in leg C. Remember from the low bar, in this case, this is the low in the GDX of the 26th of September at 2152. You had that very strong move to the upside. It was very deceptive because the dollar hadn't yet started to pull back. And then it pulled back sharply from the 26s and went down to the 2250s. And now we've got another. So you got your objective in the Chapman wave is to count each successively higher peak once you've identified the low. In fact, I think I can, pushing a little bit, but I am going to call this a buy signal. It'll get upgraded, but this is a buy signal, even though it's really choppy. And the gold GDX is starting to act much better than the daily. The weekly has a lot to do to get into the 2670. You've got a beautiful. The monthly chart still looks terrible. I'll be back in a moment. We'll look, just as we're going to the break, we're going to look at silver. Silver's having a nice move up. This is leg B, gray leg B in the upside because none of the technicals are really confirming yet. I'll be back. Basil Chapman, Dow's up 138. S&P's down 10. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open. to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today, and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years, with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Hi folks, we're back and we're looking at the Dow up 161, S&P is down 7. It's coming back quite nicely. So BTAI, I think we looked at it yesterday and I forgot to put down a BioXcel Therapeutics Inc. BTAI is a symbol trading at 1242, up 20 cents. Yes, this is leg B. Here's your Chapman wave inside wedge. Target resistance line. I'll just keep it solid for now. And I've got left side, right side price time match, not to the fulcrum low. That would be ridiculous to put it over here, because that would take you about 23 or so sessions on the right, and we're already at 1242 from the low of $10 round number. Oh, you didn't tell me it was a $10 low. $10 round number low. So that's making it green. I haven't yet got I've got it into, let me just double check. Yeah, I think I can call this, because no, as soon as it goes above that left side high of the cluster formation that had exact tops at $12, and if I can get this mouse right there, $12 and 54, 53, 54. Yeah, if I can get that, if it goes above that, if it goes to 56, I'm going to put an up arrow, and that says it's in a buy signal. Now, not yet a buy mode, because the stochastic's only at 60%, but a buy signal. And look, we're finally getting the L, meaning long, to say that this is crossing positive in the 9 over the 14. But look at the weekly, one of my favorite patterns. This is a narrow channel to the downside, like a falling axe formation, but it is a channel, perfect channel. And if it starts to, this usually says, after a long lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs pattern, it finally gets something like a doji candle and then turns around, especially if it's above the left side low, in this case, a low of about $8.50 or $9. In this case, if it starts to trade in the 1280 area, it should quickly try to fill this ugly candle gap the week of the 16th of September, 1471 high, 1447 low. And then you've got to watch out, because it could stall at that particular time, but it would be a fabulous move. All right, let's get on with it. Question, I see CCJ. This is the Chemical Corporation provider of uranium fuel. Very nice move. Leg B, it's filling the gap. Now, I have a whole thing about gaps. When gaps are filled in daily charts after really bad news, you have to watch it closely, because if it fills the gap and then any pullback holds the high of the candle that's it gapped down to, and then makes higher highs, that says you're done with bad news. But if it takes it out, especially in the dreaded H pattern like it did from that gap down around about the 26th of September, then it ran up, filled the gap, made a peak B minus, failed. The dreaded H pattern fails at a peak A or a B, especially if you've got a peak D in the top of the right there, the top in the 31s. Now what you're looking at is there was another gap down. I do not like two gaps to the downside unless a lot of work has been done. Short term, fabulous. It made a low in the 21s. Here it is at 24.94, trying to get above the 200 period moving average. CCJ is the symbol, 24.93, up 39 cents. And it hasn't yet filled the gap. Maybe it has. The low was on 25, round number low on the 11th. The next day, oh my goodness, the high is 22.71. That's a huge gap. Today's high is 24.97. We're 4 cents away from actually filling the gap. What you want to see, you see the Chapman wave inside track, propellant zone in the weekly chart. You need to see now, uranium needs to be in demand. The uranium stocks. Let me just look at U, 4 U's. Yep, very nice leg. See, this is a much nicer chart. No big gaps that is filled. The tiny gap is filled. This is trading at $7.47. Just chart-wise, it's a little bit better than CCJ, which is the CCJ. That's kind of, yeah. And is it URA? I should know all these. Yeah, URA is in leg B, C to the upside. Also looking not too bad. This is the H pattern that failed, then it went lower down, but within 2 bars it closed above it. Yeah, I like this. I think CCJ in some way is lagging. So these others that I'm talking about, URA is Global X Uranium ETF. Personally, I'm looking for some areas where I'd prefer to go for the generic. I almost went for the GDX today rather than an individual gold stock. And we didn't do anything. Maybe tomorrow we will. I just want to see how they behave. If this is a big turn in gold, it's going to last at least a couple of weeks, but we'll have to see what are there. Same thing with uranium. If this is a serious turn to the upside, then you're going to see that 200-period moving average of 21.50, let's call it 21.60, decisively taken out as it goes into the 22s, and that'll say the H pattern has become a beautiful. I'm going to draw it in, just the cup formation, the potential for the cup formation. Right here, that could be the low right there as a plumb line. It doesn't matter to me. It's just the pattern that we're looking at. And I'll only get a confirmation if URA closes sharply above 21.53, the peak B minus high of the 4th of October. And we'll watch it. So that was for those of you interested in uranium. Next thing is, ADM. I see in the Tiger YouTube. Oh my goodness. So there's a long story for me involved in ADM, which is Archer Daniels Midland. Of course, this is in the, I say, of course, and now I can't remember what it is. So who was that guy? Remember that fabulous debate? He says, I've got these 3 things that are absolutely imperative. And he kept saying these 3 things. And then the moderator said, can you tell us what those 3 things are? And he said, whatever it is, and then, and he just couldn't get the 3rd one, which was education. I feel like that right now, but I haven't missed it. Archer Daniels, it's in the grains, or it's in the, I'll do it right now. Someone in the den could tell me. Okay, let me do this. 1 second. A whole bunch of other things. Okay, there it is. Archer Daniels does ? Here it is. Food processing, commodity trading. There you go. I thought grains, but it's food processing. So yeah, this is a fabulous move, and this is a really good sign. In fact, I have no choice but to put an up arrow in the weekly chart. So Archer, Daniels Midland, when it made this high back here at just under 100, I was about to make it a short. In fact, I typed it up and then I said, you know what? Are you crazy? This is a period where you have no idea what the grains are going to do, what anything's happening. This was way back. Oh, September. No, it wasn't. It was way back here in April. And it made this high. Oh, I had this all notated. This is an A, B, C is where you start looking for a reversal, and there it is. There's your D. And I thought, and I didn't do anything. And then right here on this day, the 23rd or something, I said, okay, maybe now's the time to short. And I said, no, I can't do it. And then it spiked up, and I said, just as well it did. And then look what happened. It went from the 96s or so down to 70, 71. Anyway, so I'll be back. Archer Daniels Midland is acting very well. Is in leg D in the daily chart. I'll be back in a moment. We'll talk about it in greater detail. Guys, I'm just sending you.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. Archer Daniels Midland making a gap up leg D. All the technicals are great. Unbalanced volume is not. It's really lagging. I suspect there could be a little bit of a consolidation here, but I have 98.88, the high of the week of the 22nd of April, as a target based on the Chapman wave inside wedge target resistance line. It hit it 3 times back in August into September, then it pulled back sharply, and now it's acting very nicely. And it's in a leg C, a peak C in the monthly chart. I think it will be going to D. So that's as it stands right now. A question came in. Oops, let me move this away here. Get out of the way. Thank you. I'll just go backwards. There were questions. Let me just SCHW. Yes, that is acting nicely. Finally, gosh, the slide down to 66. Now it's 73. I need to see the IAI, the broker dealer and the securities ETF moving sharply higher here. I need to see the XLF, the bank index, moving higher. I need to see yields starting to come down as bonds rally. And let's see how that turns out. Right now, we've got the 73.70 is Charles Schwab up 1.23. Nice action. It's a really good sign, but I'm going to put it together with the IAI, which is up in leg C at 92.54 with a 93 target for this particular move. And then we'll see if the resistance there kicks in or whether it can break through above it. So in the meantime, what we're looking at is there's a big lag in the weekly and monthly charts of the IAI, but Charles Schwab, which had, I to this day, I don't know what the big story was, with that massive move from the 76s to the 65s, just a swoosh down, and now it's coming back. So this is improving, and yes, so it's back in the range. If the question is, do I buy here? I would say we're getting close to a leg D where I'm going to become quite cautious in the Dow. We're still in leg C. So you have to get a peak and then another leg up. So this is saying to me, it's maybe in time just for this particular move, because next week there could be a little bit of hiatus in the market rally as there's a wait and see whatever it is for all the economic news coming out next week. So I'm just going to say, if you are interested in it, starting a position here at 73.73, I would have preferred, as it hasn't yet seen the 9 cross the 14-period moving average, so you're ahead of that game, because that would say it's got a little bit further to go. The big resistance will be the 14th of October high of 68.46. 68.46. High of 75 round number. So it's close to that. I'm going to say, and look at the weekly chart, it's starting to get very close to the Chapman inside track repellent zone. I'm going to say you can tiptoe in now. Just start more than a tiptoe, but less than a starter position. Just get your foot in the door. I would even put a stop. 4-point stop is a bit big, but if a 4-point stop, and the moment it touches 74.41, maybe in the next day or two, I'd tighten that stop up immediately, and then I'd consider, am I going to add to it? But yes, a starter position, just a little less than a starter position right here. A couple of other questions that came in that I think I wanted to deal with right away. I'm going backwards. Can Veru, yeah, I watched this very, very closely. Veru, only because it matches my granddaughter's name, not exactly, but it's very close. I always see it go by. So, so this is A, that's B, A again, and B. So I'm watching the GBTC, which we once had and had spectacular gains, and then we got out of it, and we've barely been in it since then. This is the Bitcoin fund. I think I almost did that. I saw it yesterday, and I said, you know what, this is starting to move. I love the weekly chart, the way it's forming a base. I think that the Bitcoin sector is just beginning a move. It's not the move, but it's a move, because it's taken out resistance levels. Bitcoin right now is up 530 at 20,835. Yes, I think that, so let's just go back to the GBTC. I would say, oh, it's a pity it's so high. Well, you can't, you whatever you're going to do, you've got to do less. If the question was, could I get into Veru? Because they all go together. This is not even breaking out yet, but it is at 12.55. GBTC is 12.71. Personally, I think that the GBTC is better than the Veru. And in fact, did I put down what Veru does? It's a platform. Veru is Veru Inc. All right, Veru is Veru Inc. I think it's a platform because it always matches whatever the Bitcoin is doing. And I think I'd rather be safer with something like this, and therefore you can't go heavily in because it's already had a big spike from the 9s to the 12. 30%. These things do move quickly. The weekly looks terrible, but it is holding the Chapman inside track. Yeah, You can nibble on 1264. You can nibble on GBTC. That wasn't your question, but that is my answer. TLT, there we go. I'm thinking that this gap and second gap today is an attempt to move higher. Now, it doesn't form the dreaded H pattern and successfully because it doesn't come back. I'll draw it in because this is closer to the V-shaped pattern right now. So there are always two fighting patterns. In this case, you've got whoops sharply down from the hundreds down to the 97s and whoops sharply up. So I think TLT, here again for subscribers, we've had other things, so it's not I can't complain. We've had other things that are doing extremely well. So although we did miss one that was absolutely on my buy just 3 days ago, and I forgot to write it down. If I don't write it down on my for my subscribers to my opening call on the Traders Corner page to remind me the next day, thank goodness today I did see one that it reminded me. Unfortunately, we haven't got it because it gapped up, and it didn't gap up, but it only pulled back a fraction. And now it's up huge. And it's a low. I'm looking for low single-digit stocks that, if that sector is participating in this big move up, will give a fabulous percentage gain, maybe even lagging a little bit the key stocks, but having a great percent dragged up like what is a little fish? Those fishes that hang on to the whale or the shark or the little fish that hangs on to the other fish, and they just float around wherever they go. It's like that. They get dragged up. And I would prefer that now because I'm not sure we're totally out of the wood. You can see by the wood. Let me just go to ARKK. Question came up about that. Yep, Kathy Wood. Oh, there's another one. Up 3% today at 39.02, up 1.21 in leg A, B, leg C. All of these are making leg C's. That's good because B is where you usually fail to make the H pattern. So this is a good sign, but look at that peak D. It looks terrible in the weekly, and the monthly looks just horrible going to a leg D from 125 down to the 30 level. So yeah, I think that this is showing some strength. If you got the gumption and you put in a stop, I would say you could ride a little bit with this one. ARKK, as I said, Wood took me over to Kathy Wood. Let's see, next question came in. Okay. TD9, GSM, let me go to GSM. Oh, yeah, so everything, they all got the same pattern. GSM didn't make a lower low or whatever. It's trading at 607, Spiral Globe PLC at 6.07. The big resistance will be at 6.31, the 200-period exponential moving average. It failed before at that level. We've got a break coming up, and a question came in about, NVIDIA. Yeah, I've seen, we'll come back to that. Dow's up 192. We'll be right back.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Hi folks, we're back. So I have to correct myself. I haven't corrected myself. I'm correcting myself because it was pointed out to me that Veru Inc. is a biopharmaceutical company, develops novel medicines. One of them was COVID-19. But I should have looked at it and said immediately, this looks like a biotech stock. Very long candles with a long wick to the upside and then a body down at the bottom. But it also looks, let me go back to this. It also looks like, I won't tell you what this is. I'll just show you the chart. Look at this. That looks like, look at the daily chart. Doesn't that look like a biotech? Anyway, this is, the Veru is not a biotech. I'm sorry, not in the Bitcoin area. It is, in fact, a biotech. And the Bitcoin, everything I said about Bitcoin, I was going to do that. In fact, that took me to Bitcoin. And the big base between the 20,600s and the 18,000s is trying to break above it to get to this ugly candle of the 13th of September, where the high was 22,830 and the low was 20,005. That's quite a move. That's for one candle on one day. So yes, that's just trying to rally here, and I think it has to do more with the market than anything else. So yes, semiconductors. The semis are coming back a little bit from the low of the day. In fact, they're doing very nicely at 190.77 up 87. So all of this, when I put the package together, the kind of low that we're making here is not the kind of low that we saw March the 6th and 9th of 2009 or March the 23rd of 2020, but it is a substantial turnaround, especially with the dollar just giving some freedom to the multinationals. That doesn't mean to say we're right at a point where the dollar couldn't rally a little bit, which means that gold could pull back just a little. Maybe that'll be the move that gives you some entrances into the gold stocks, but I would treat them as counter-trend rallies to the larger down move. Just at this moment, let it prove itself by seeing gold up in the 1820s. At some point, it's at 1670 right now. So that's the way I'm looking at it. And this is just a huge relief rally. And at this particular point, the short side, we just had, look, when you're looking at the general market, let's go to the QQQs. Look, when you've had this kind of persistence to the downside over just go to the August high of 334.42 and you go down to 254, that's a huge move just by itself. That's not the high of 408.71 back in November of 2021. And that's a year later, right? Just about. And what are we looking at? Now all the selling pressure, even today let's see what Microsoft's doing. MSFT. Look, Microsoft, huge move down. It went from 250s yesterday to a low today of, I haven't moved that away, so I'm going to do it right now. to a low of 230. That's huge. And now it's at 237, trying to come back. So all I'm saying is that within the context of Microsoft being a Dow, an S&P, and a NASDAQ stock, you can see that. Goog, same thing. But we've understood that these stocks, did Goog make a lower low? I think it did. The low today is 95.37. So in the dreaded H pattern, it went and it retested. The technicals, funnily enough, are not too bad. They're still okay. The low was 95.27. Oh, we held it by 10 cents. So far, that's a positive move on Alphabet. Let's see Amazon. Amazon is coming back. It's pulled back quite sharply, down 3 at 117.33. But the technicals are still holding pretty well. Stochastic still at 82%. Let me just have a quick look here. At the close today, CLAC, C-L-A-C. This is part of the, oh, look at this, single leg A up. Huge move from the 253-ish area to 309 today. That is a whopper of a move. And the monthly chart held the support, Chapman Wave Inside Track support level. 457 was the all-time high January, peak G. So it's in a sell signal. I have to wait for the end of the month, but probably a sell mode in the CLAC, which is the semiconductor area, KLA Core, KLAC. You remember Click and Clack, we used to have those as stocks to watch way back in the 1990s or something. And also you remember we used to have here in the Boston area on National Public Radio, we had these two brothers, Maliosa brothers, something from Cambridge. They had the garage, Good Time Garage or something. And they used to have the show. Boy, were they funny. Not always was it the automobile stuff. It's everything else. When a woman would call in, they'd discuss what color car, etc. It was funny stuff at the time. Of course, today you couldn't do that. So what have we got? Wolf. Oh, I haven't looked at Wolf for ages. Remember, that was one that showed itself to be spectacular, going to that top back in September. It went all the way to 125-ish. Then it pulls back exactly to the 200-period moving average, goes to peak A, peak B, having a good move today at 108, up 3.86. Yeah, it's holding well considering this is in semiconductors. Oh my, what was the semiconductor stock that I looked at this morning? Oh no. I can't remember. Did I write it down? I usually write these down. I did not write it down. Oh, Rambus. It's in the area. It's not. I don't know if it's just a pure semi-play. Look at this. 29.35, up 12 cents. This is acting really well. The technicals are all very strong. It's gone to a leg B. No, it's a leg C. Remember, this is the low. I'm going to just circle it to show you. In the weekly chart in the Chapman Wave methodology, that's the low. So anything that pulls back that doesn't take out that low means you've got to count each successively higher peak. Well, there was a peak A around about August or so in the 28s. Then it pulls back to the 23s, bounces. That's an A. Whoops, uppercase A. And that's a B. And here we are on leg C already. So this is acting very nicely, not great in terms of chart patterns, but in terms of the sector, the SMHs, the semiconductor sector, this is fabulous. And look at the monthly. Goes to about 34, 33 all-time high, just under 34 maybe. And then it pulls back to 20. And now it's at almost 10 points high. It's right in the middle of the range in the monthly chart. This is gray leg B, A, B. I'll put that in, gray, A. Why is it gray? Because the stochastic's still very weak and the MACD hasn't turned positive yet. This is an uppercase A and a B. A and a B. So they're right. Ah, nice, huh? So, okay. Within all, with that said, what have we got? I'll have support. Yeah. So, Basil, check out BG. Oh, BG's Bungie, right? BG, it's in the grains and the grains. Peak A, yes, very nice move. That goes with the Archer Daniels, A, B, and see, I used to have it written down. What is Bungie? Bungie is, it is in the, I better do this correctly. I might be saying the wrong thing. In the break, I'll be able to do that. We've got one more segment to go with a whole bunch of questions still coming in. B. Bungie. Those. Dry milling corn vegetable oils. Yes. Doing very nicely. I'll be back.
Are you grinding in the market, but seeing little to no return? Or are you a successful trader, simply looking to make your job a little easier? Learn to take the path of least resistance with David White's powerful trading newsletter. David White is an accomplished trader whose deep understanding of technology and the markets allows him to consistently find and share winning trades. Support and resistance define the ranges in which stocks trade. By understanding these trading ranges, David White is able to find the path of least resistance. David White's trading newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, is delivered daily before the markets open to make every trading day an easy win. Visit TFNN.com today and subscribe to David White's Ultimate Trading Newsletter for $119 a month. And try all of our newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Take the path of least resistance at TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
CDE is core binding ink, silver miner. I had it for subscribers back in the 393.70 area. 336 actually we started off. Just took tads off, made some money, but also got out of it. And here it is at $4.10. I know some subscribers kept it because they thought that it was acting so well, which it was. It just, all I can say is it's in leg C. So here again, look, here's the low bar that we counted. Here's peak D. Now we start a new move. It goes a single leg A up and then pulls back. And then what happens, it holds well above that low. So this is basically your starting point. I'll do this just for demonstration purposes. I'll make it a little circle right there in the daily chart right there to say that's the low. Any low that doesn't take it out means that you've got to count the peaks. So that's a peak E/A if it was a continuation there. This is an A because there's your starting point. There's your B and here's your leg C, and it's pushing above the 200-period moving average. That was incredible resistance. It hasn't even touched the 200-period moving average since it almost hit it back in November of 2021 at 764. and it couldn't get there. It went to peak A, peak B, and then C failure. And the last time it actually touched it was right there when it was fading in the dreaded H pattern back in July of 2021 at $9.23. So this is really important because it makes the 200-period moving average. See, first it becomes a magnet and a repellent. Now you've got your cup formation, and now it's breaking out. So that's that pattern that I call the Y pattern, the reverse Y. So yes, it's acting very well. Daily leg C, and it should go high. It's acting very well with support at in the 380s, 370s. So let me just go through this. I didn't even touch the VIX index today. The VIX index is pulling back. It's now down under 28 at 27.63. That's a really good sign. Oh, I want you to see that pattern on the right. Look at the dollar. Anybody recognize the pattern? There's the dreaded H. Have a wonderful day. Check out my opening call daily newsletter. Stay tuned for Steve and great program. Don't forget Teddy's webinar today.